Welcome back to the Britannia Coin Company. We're a coin dealer based in Royal Wootton Bassett in the UK. Today we're going to be looking at some fake coins, a scourge of our hobby, and just goes to show how careful you need to be when adding some coins to your collection. We have accumulated a number of fake coins which we have kept as a useful learning resource, with quite the variety of coins from different countries, eras and denominations. We won't be looking at them all today, but we have plenty to return to this topic in the future if you'd like. With some coins looking more convincing than others, we will start off with a set of 11 sovereigns, brought into us to be sold after many years and many pounds spent on them on a certain online auction site, only to find out they were not real, unfortunately. The sovereign is a hugely popular coin with collectors and investors, with the sovereign first authorised by King Henry VII in 1489, although not as a circulating coin then. It wouldn't find circulating use until 1817, however by the outbreak of the First World War it was no longer viable to have a circulating coin of gold. From 1979 onwards they have been struck for collectors and bullion coins. Now there are many ways to determine if a coin is a fake. You can weigh them, you can measure them, you can compare them to the real thing, but we have a really handy tool at the Britannia Coin Company, this portable XRF spectrometer, which shoots X-rays at a target and can thereby determine the composition. If we zap one of these fake sovereigns, I can show you its composition, and we can see there is a bit of gold, possibly a gold plating to fool the untrained eye, also a bit of silver, but the lion's share is nickel and zinc. Next up I have what is supposed to be a double florin from 1888. If this coin takes your fancy, then do go check out one of our previous videos on the Queen Victoria Golden Jubilee coin set, which this denomination features in. This would have been a silver coin at the time of its introduction in 1887, and it became commonly known as the barmaid's ruin or the barmaid's grief, as it was very similar in the design of the crown, a higher denomination circulating coin of the time, and therefore crafty punters in pubs would try and pass them off as a higher denomination coin. The obverse we see the Golden Jubilee portrait of Queen Victoria, with her smaller crown designed so that it would fit over her widow's cap, although not a popular portrait with the public or even the Queen herself. Time to give this coin a zap though. So we have a trace of silver, some iron and nickel, but mainly copper and zinc, so we know this is definitely not the real thing. We have a peace dollar next. Well, supposed to be one. These US coins were minted between 1921 to 28 and again between 1934 and 35, beginning again in 2021. The design of the coin was chosen from a competition to best represent peace, with the American eagle, the national bird of America, clutching an olive branch. The original design had the eagle perched on a broken sword. However, it was felt that a broken sword showed the owner had disgraced themselves or been defeated, and so that was changed prior to it being minted. On the obverse we see the goddess of liberty and the supposed year of mintage at the bottom, 1922. The peace dollar was preceded by the Morgan dollar, another very popular and highly collectible coin, and was succeeded by the Eisenhower dollar. Let's give it a zap though. Results are in with a trace of silver, but mainly nickel and iron, so yet again another dud. We will stay in the USA for this next coin, this mirror shine Walking Liberty dollar. Now the design would be familiar to coin collectors for the well-known Walking Liberty half dollar, issued by the US Mint from 1916 to 1947, again a circulating silver coin. With a new mint director in 1915, Robert W. Woolley, he felt that he was required to replace designs that had been circulated for some years. Again, this design was chosen from a design competition to feature on public coinage. The intricate design was hard to strike, eventually being replaced by the Franklin half dollar. With public attention drawn to the impending war with Germany, the reception of this new coin was fairly muted at the time. But time once more to give it a zap and see what we've really got. Again, some trace elements of silver, some nickel, but primarily copper and iron, so yes, another fake. The last US coin we'll feature is another curious one. Supposed to be a highly sought after error double die. If you look at the text on the coin, there is the imprint of an additional strike. To get a high quality die, then it must have several impressions, and on the last strike the coin hub was misaligned, but this was not noticed by mint employees and the die went into production. Although specimens of the coin should have been inspected prior to them being packaged to go out into circulation, this seems to have been missed, and several thousand made their way into circulation before this error was spotted. This coin also looks to be misaligned in the minting process as well, So to feature 2 rare errors on one coin, what a scoop that would be. On the other side the text is fine, but again misaligned to the planchet when minting, cutting off some of the die and leaving a blank rim to the bottom and right of the coin. So do we have an incredibly rare error then? Let's give it a zap. We have bizarrely a bit of platinum, which I was not expecting, otherwise just copper though, so sadly not a super rare error. That would have been an amazing find. We will move north to Canada now, with a very colourful coin purporting to be a 1 ounce silver to celebrate the 90th birthday of Queen Elizabeth II. We have some beautiful decorations on this coin with the St Edward's crown above the royal cipher with maple leaves on a blue garter sash. One giveaway that this is a fake is that the maple leaf on the genuine article has what is described as a high-tech glittering effect, making the maple leaf sparkle in the light. If we look at the obverse, we have another indication that this coin is up to mischief, because we see the Ian Rank Broadley portrait of the Queen. On the real coin it should have been Susanna Blunt's portrait with beading around the edge of the coin. This one does wish the Queen a happy birthday though, and has a pretty floral border. There's only one way to find out for sure though. The results are in with a bit of silver, with some nickel and interestingly cobalt, but mostly copper and iron. Now we have an amazing design, one of my favourites to feature in this video. This is supposed to be a gold Canadian maple, which is a staple investment coin. They were first minted in 1979 and over time have been modified with further features and security elements as well. What I love about this design is the starburst effect. I think it really adds vibrancy to this design. On the obverse we do actually have the correct portrait of the Queen, although I noticed the Queen's eye isn't quite right though. It was designed by Susanna Blunt, which is one of my favourite portraits of the Queen on coinage personally. They are fairly pricey though, with a decent amount of gold in each one. Once again the obverse has this stunning starburst effect. Time to see what is really in this coin though. We have a bit of nickel and some iron, but mostly copper, so definitely not worth the price tag of a real one for sure. Next up we have a Krugerrand, another popular coin for investors and collectors, first minted in 1967 and named after Paul Kruger, a former president of South Africa who featured on the obverse of the coin. The coin became so popular that by 1980, 90% of the global gold market comprised of these coins. And there have been over 50 million ounces of gold minted into Krugerrands and their fractional counterparts since the inception of the coin. But with this one being a bit off colour, it definitely needs to get zapped. The results show a bit of nickel, a lot of copper, but mainly zinc, so no gold here sadly. This coin would have been an interesting piece if it were real. This is a Mexican 5 pesos from 1950 and was a pattern design. We have done a video on pattern and trial coins before, looking at some really cool ones. Effectively, a pattern coin is an experimental piece to see if a design or shape of a coin would work before they are mass produced. The obverse features the Mexican national arms, which is a Mexican eagle perched on a prickly pear cactus eating a rattlesnake. This design was founded in the legend that the Aztecs would know where to build their cities once they saw an eagle eating a snake atop a lake. For centuries it has been an important symbol in Mexican culture. On the other side we see the bust of Miguel Hidalgo, a priest who led the Mexican War of Independence and heralded as the father of the nation. We have a clue here that this coin can't be correct with his surname minted below his portrait, where on the actual pattern piece it's not. There is also the Mexico City mint mark, which again didn't feature on the pattern piece, so we need to separate the wheat from the chaff and give it a zap. Results are in with a bit of nickel but mostly iron, where the real pattern piece should be silver. We couldn't look at fake coins without featuring one of these. The 2009 Kew Gardens 50p, the rarest 50 pence currently in circulation, and the holy grail of UK coin hunting. Unfortunately, from the moment of laying eyes on this one though, there is something not quite right. If we look at the obverse though, it's patently clear with the wording IRB copy minted below the Queen's portrait that this is not a real Kew Gardens. The whole colour and frosted effects to this coin should lead you to know that something is wrong with this. A popular buy to fill a gap in a collection until you find or purchase a real one. So what is this coin made of then? Let's give it a zap. So again, some silver, a bit of nickel and zinc, but mostly copper. So we knew this wouldn't be real, but it's interesting to see exactly what's inside it. To round off this video, I have this curious coin. It's a halfpenny from 1971, which should have been a bronze coin, but even the untrained eye can tell this is certainly not bronze. The original coins were minted for the UK's move to a decimal currency, featuring the crown of St Edward on the reverse. The obverse has Arnold Machin's second portrait of the Queen, a young portrait of her. This is one that I was really intrigued to see the results, so let's have a look. So a bit of tin, which I had to look up as I wasn't sure what SN stood for, some nickel and a lot of copper, so an interesting composition for an intriguing little coin. Well, this has been quite fun having a look at the composition of some fake coins. It just goes to show you though that it's really worth using a trusted and reputable dealer like ourselves when shelling out on some of the higher ticket items. Like I showed you, we've got plenty of other fake coins that we could give a zap. If you'd like to see that, do let me know in the comments. Be sure as well to subscribe to the channel, it means you won't miss any of our future uploads, and as we approach 4,000 subscribers we'll be doing another giveaway. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram where we post lots of images of our coins. We're on Twitter and TikTok, we've got our shop and online store, but I'll see you next time for more amazing coins from the Britannia Coin Company.